Give me a minute and let's talk about the trolls who are out in force today. They hate the fact that there are Russians fighting Russians. Look, you're going to see lots of comments. All the Russian forces that invaded Russia have been eliminated. They've all been kaputted. They're all unalived. Bullshit. Bullshit. Now, I got to tell you, so as we know, right, yesterday, the Freedom of Russia Legion, the Russian Volunteer Corps, and the Siberian Battalion, I've been saying brigade, they're officially the Siberian Battalion, entered the regions of Belgorod and Kursk. Now, I thought it would be like all the other cross-border raids, right? They would go in, they would steal a bunch of, not steal, they would, what do they call it? Commandeer a bunch of Russian military equipment and bring it back for their own resupply and use. That is not what is happening. They have now taken 2 towns. They are in control of some of Russia. They are fighting intensely with the locals. And they're getting, I think, they're getting some artillery and rocket support from the Ukrainians on the other side of the border. It appears that that may be the case. What is definitely the case is they got drones and drone operators with them, baby, because there is some great footage of this multiple launch rocket system getting hit by Freedom of Russia Legion drone. So right now, the Freedom of Russia Legion is calling for the evacuation of civilians from the cities. And that's not all. They are saying that they are going to show up for Election Day. Now, what could that possibly mean? At most, all 3 of these volunteer corps together, they maybe have 6,000 people. The last data that I have is that there's 11,000 Russian regulars in Belgorod alone. They can't take them on, right? That's not realistic. Even with better equipment and heavy machinery and drones and all of it. That's 2 to 1, more than 2 to 1. And that's just in Belgorod. I don't have numbers for Kursk. So I got to ask the question, is there any chance, and I'm saying this against all hope, I'm just speculating here. Speculate with me for a moment. What could they be thinking? Is there any chance that they're planning on getting some help on the other side of the border? That some companies or battalions or brigades or Russian regulars are ready to cross over and point their guns in the right direction at Moscow? God, I hope so. We need a 1917 moment here, right? Where 1 million Russian soldiers just walked off the battlefield and said, enough. I'm not doing this anymore for some czar in his palace that doesn't care about me and my family and our futures. It's time. It's time. Now is the moment for the Russian regulars to turn the fuck around, take out their officers, and march to Moscow and take out the real enemy of the Russian people, the Kremlin gremlins. Now, I don't know what the Russian Legion has in mind. They may very well make a stealthy withdrawal later today. They may come up against a force of Russian soldiers they can't handle. Or maybe they'll come up against a force of Russian soldiers and clasp arms with their brothers.